In 1883, a philosopher wrote a book that would be misunderstood by nearly everyone who read it. Used by some of history's worst movements, embraced by artists and revolutionaries, and dismissed by academics. But strip away the misreadings, and it contains one of the most demanding challenges ever put to paper. Stop settling for who you are. Become who you could be. Friedrich Nietzsche's Thus Spoke Zarathustra is the most personal and ambitious book he ever wrote. He later called it his greatest gift to humanity. It's written as a kind of philosophical prose poem. Zarathustra, a sage who has lived alone in the mountains, descends to share his wisdom with humanity. But the book isn't really about Zarathustra, it's about you, and the gap between who you are and who you're capable of becoming. The book is deliberately difficult, poetic, symbolic, and layered. Nietzsche wasn't trying to make things easy. He wanted to shake you out of comfortable thinking. But underneath the challenging style are ideas that are genuinely transformative about the death of traditional values, the will to power, self-overcoming, eternal recurrence, and what it means to live fully and authentically. These ideas changed philosophy permanently. Nietzsche's most famous and most misunderstood idea, God is dead. He didn't mean this as an atheist celebration. He meant it as a diagnosis of a crisis. European culture had built its entire value system on religious foundations. Now those foundations were crumbling. People no longer genuinely believed, but they had no replacement for the values and meaning that religion had provided. The result, nihilism, a civilization with no agreed-upon reason to do anything. Nietzsche saw this as the defining challenge of his era and ours. When the old sources of meaning collapse, what fills the void? Most people, he observed, respond by defaulting to comfortable mediocrity. They stop asking what life is for. They pursue safety, entertainment, and the approval of the herd. They become what he called the last man, small, comfortable, without aspiration, and proud of it. The last man is Nietzsche's warning about where comfortable civilization leads. The society of last men is materially comfortable and spiritually empty. Everyone has enough, nobody reaches for more. The greatest insult becomes ambition, and the highest virtue becomes not offending anyone. Nietzsche saw this tendency already in 1883. Look around today and consider whether he was wrong. If you're finding this valuable, subscribe to the channel. We're exploring the most challenging and transformative philosophical texts ever written. Links to the full text of Zarathustra and more Nietzsche analysis are in the description below. Against the last man, Nietzsche offered the Ubermensch, often translated as Superman or Overman. This has been catastrophically misused, but it has nothing to do with racial superiority or domination of others. The Ubermensch is Nietzsche's vision of what a human being could become if they stopped relying on inherited values and instead created their own. Not a biological type, a psychological achievement. The Ubermensch doesn't look to God, society, or tradition to tell them what to value. They look inward, ask honestly what they truly care about, and build a life around that. They take full responsibility for who they are. They don't blame circumstances, parents, or society for their limitations. They create themselves. That's the ambition, not to conquer others, but to overcome yourself. The bridge metaphor is crucial. Zarathustra says, man is a rope stretched between animal and Ubermensch, a rope over an abyss. You are not the destination, you are the transition. Your purpose is to be the bridge that makes something higher possible, either in yourself through relentless self-overcoming, or in what you create, build, or leave behind. You are a means, not an end. Nietzsche's will to power is another massively misunderstood concept. It has nothing to do with dominating other people. The will to power is the fundamental drive to grow, to overcome, to express yourself fully, to become more than you currently are. It's not power over others, it's power over yourself, your limitations, your comfort zone. He argued that this drive, the will to expand, create, overcome, is the most fundamental human motivation. When it's expressed healthily, it produces artists, scientists, explorers, great leaders. When it's suppressed or turned inward, it produces resentment, the desire to tear others down, and the instinct to level everyone to the same comfortable mediocrity. Nietzsche called this slave morality, the resentment of the weak toward the strong. In modern terms, the person who tears down successful people instead of becoming successful themselves is expressing suppressed will to power as resentment. The one who says anyone ambitious is showing off, anyone different is arrogant, anyone excellent is threatening. They've turned their drive to grow into a drive to shrink everyone else. Nietzsche saw this as the great spiritual disease of his time. One of the most powerful passages in Zarathustra describes 3 transformations of the spirit. First, the camel. You take on burdens, you bear what is heavy, you learn discipline and endurance, you take on responsibility. The camel says, give me the heaviest burden. This is the first stage of growth, loading yourself with challenge and carrying it. Then comes the lion. The spirit that has borne its burdens now roars, questions, and refuses. The lion says, I will not. It confronts the dragon of established values, all the thou shalts of tradition and society, and says no. This is the necessary act of rebellion, breaking free from inherited values to create space for your own. But the lion can destroy, it cannot yet create. Finally, the child, creation and new beginnings. The child plays, creates without judgment, invents new values, The child has the innocent freedom to begin again after the lion has cleared the old world away. You build something new, not from obligation or tradition, but from genuine creative will. This three-part transformation, camel, lion, child, is Nietzsche's blueprint for authentic self-creation. You can see this pattern in almost every meaningful personal transformation. The camel phase, years of discipline, grinding work, carrying the load of learning. The lion phase, the moment you reject the conventional path, quit the safe career, say no to who you were supposed to be. The child phase, building something genuinely your own, on your own terms. Every artist, entrepreneur, or independent thinker who matters has walked this path. Nietzsche's most challenging thought experiment, eternal recurrence. Imagine that your life, every moment, every choice, every joy, every suffering will repeat itself infinitely, exactly as it happened, forever. How does that make you feel? If the thought fills you with horror, what does that tell you about how you're actually living? If you'd live it all again gladly, you've found the right path. This isn't a claim about cosmology. Whether the universe actually repeats doesn't matter. It's a psychological test, a filter for self-examination. It forces the question, are you living in a way you can fully endorse? Are your choices genuine? Are you pursuing what actually matters to you, or going through motions? The life that cannot bear infinite repetition is one you need to change. To embrace eternal recurrence is to say, yes, this again. It is the ultimate affirmation of life. Choosing your existence so completely that you would choose it even knowing it repeats forever. Nietzsche called this Amor, Fati, love of fate, not just tolerating what happens to you, but embracing it, wanting it, turning necessity into desire. This is the highest human affirmation. For Nietzsche, the highest human activity is self-overcoming, not overcoming others, not achieving external success, but continuously surpassing the version of yourself that exists right now, he wrote. Man must be surpassed. Whatever you've achieved today is the starting point for tomorrow, not the destination. The moment you stop growing, you start declining. This applies to every domain. The artist who rests on their established style stops growing. The thinker who stops questioning their own positions becomes an ideology. The person who reaches their goal and stops, weight loss, career milestone, relationship, and just maintains, rather than pushing further, has stopped becoming. And for Nietzsche, to stop becoming is to begin dying. He also argued that this requires solitude and independence. The herd, public opinion, social media, the approval of others, pulls you toward comfortable mediocrity. It rewards conformity and punishes differentiation. The person who is becoming, who is genuinely developing, will often be alone, not because they reject others, but because the path of self-overcoming requires an inner compass, and inner compasses can't be calibrated by crowd opinion. How should you apply Nietzsche's Zarathustra? First, apply the eternal recurrence test to your life right now. Imagine you had to live this exact day, your current routine, your current ambitions, your current relationships forever. Does that feel like yes or no? If it's no, that's important information. What would need to change for you to say yes? Start from there. Second, identify which metamorphosis you're in. Are you in camel mode, needing to take on more, develop discipline, load yourself with challenge? Are you in lion mode, needing to say no, reject inherited obligations, create space by destruction? Are you in child mode, ready to build something genuinely new? Most people are stuck in camel forever because the lion is scary, but you cannot create until you first refuse. Third, examine your resentments. When someone else succeeds, what's your first reaction? Genuine inspiration or subtle irritation? Nietzsche would say that irritation is your suppressed will to power, expressing itself as resentment. The antidote isn't to feel better about other people's success, it's to pursue your own. Channel that energy forward, not outward. Use it to overcome yourself, not to diminish others. And fourth, practice Amor, Fati, stop fighting reality. What has happened has happened. The job you lost, the relationship that ended, the failure that stung. These aren't obstacles to your story, they are your story. The Stoics said, accept what you cannot control. Nietzsche goes further. Don't just accept it, love it, want it, because it made you who you are, and who you are is the raw material for who you're becoming. Nietzsche is not comfortable reading. He challenges everything, your values, your comfort, your sense of self. He doesn't offer reassurance, he offers a harder path. But the premise underlying all of it is deeply affirmative. You are capable of becoming something greater than you currently are. That potential is real. The tragedy is not trying. The popular misreading of Nietzsche as a philosopher of domination and cruelty gets him exactly backwards. His target was always comfort, mediocrity, and the herd mentality that pulls people down to the lowest common denominator. He wasn't attacking the weak, he was attacking the weakness in all of us that settles, that stops growing, that looks to outside authority to define our worth. Thus Spoke Zarathustra is one of the most demanding books ever written. Not because it's obscure, but because it asks you to be honest about whether you're actually living or just existing. Are you a last man, comfortable and empty? Or are you becoming, carrying weight, refusing mediocrity, creating something new? Nietzsche's challenge isn't to be ruthless or ambitious in the conventional sense. It's to take your own existence seriously, to stop settling, to become the bridge toward something higher. That challenge hasn't aged a day. Tomorrow, I'll distill Nietzsche's most powerful idea into one 60-second test you can apply to your life right now. This video was created by combining human research and scriptwriting with AI-assisted visuals and production. For the full text of Zarathustra and more philosophical analysis, check the links in the description below.